Hello, welcome back to OmniFoot TV. This is Joe Stormer speaking. Today's video is about Mason Mount. Now, I'm not on the fence with this one. I actually have a very, very clear opinion or stance on Mount, on Chelsea, on United, on this entire circumstance. I think he needs to leave as soon as humanly possible if he does want to leave. If he wants to stay after this crazy media storm, then he needs to win back the fans' favor. The club has done almost everything in their power to sign him to a new deal. At the same time, they're trying to bring their wage bills down. They're trying to make things more pragmatic, more accessible for them, more moving forward financially. They're selling players that they don't need, selling players that they could make a profit from, as long as they don't actually want to stay. Mount is a good player. Is he a player I thought had potential? Yes. Do I still think he has the same level of potential I thought back then? No. Not at all, actually. And I'd like to believe that I'm wrong. I'd like to be proven wrong. I'm pretty flexible in that regard. Anything can happen, really. But being told that his camp and he himself have been pushing for a move out, especially to go to an arch rival of ours, please get the hell out of the club. If you want to leave that badly, just go. If you're proper Chelsea, and you've grown up in the academy system, you've grown up as a Chelsea fan, you've grown up engulfed within the culture, by the culture that is Chelsea Football Club. You've lived to see the stadium as a fan and play and see the inside of it as a player. These are things that I, as a fan, dream of to this day and I've never seen. And for someone who's actually grown up in the club's environment, in the club's ecosystem, as it were, not for 1 second did I assume that this kind of drama would come out, especially from this player. Am I sad? Maybe a little. Loyalty really doesn't bear any more fruit in this sport because there isn't much of it left. Do I think that he's innocent? No, not entirely. Maybe 10%. The other 90%, that's blood on his hands. Well, he is going to a club that wears red, so obviously it's not literal blood, but still. It's a jersey. I digress. Let's move on. I think Mount is causing a stir that doesn't really need to be caused. If he really wanted to stay at the club, he would have signed either of the contracts that were, given to him, that were offered to him by the Chelsea hierarchy. We have had a horrible season. Granted, that is not when you leave. If you are a proper Chelsea fan, no matter how bad it's supposed to get, you still stick by the club. If you're a Chelsea fan who gets to be a player who has that blessing, to be able to change things from the inside and make a difference, where we just get to sit down on the outside looking in and react emotionally to things we can't control, newsflash, you get to react because you get to control what's going on to a degree. You get to choose how much of that you can control and how much of that you can influence. That's a dream come true. You get to wear the jersey, go out onto Stamford Bridge, go out anywhere in the world, play the game for the sake of the club and the badge. Now that's romanticism. I'm sure it sounds like it, but that's what it is to me. That's what I love about Chelsea. That's why I love Chelsea. That's what loving Chelsea is to me. That's how I could describe it. It's a part of my life. It's one of the biggest parts of my life, and I'm proud of it. I'm happy to be a Chelsea fan. I'm happy to be loyal to the club, despite everything that's going on. And excuse my voice, I'm a little ill. But if Mount really wants to stay after everything that's gone on, he needs to devote himself entirely to keeping his head down, keeping his mouth shut, staying away from the media for a while, training as hard as humanly possible, winning favor with the club's hierarchy and with the fans all over again. Because I'm not having it. If he wants to stay for a season and leave on the free, I'd rather we not play him. Throw him in the reserve squad for 3-4 weeks, months, not weeks. I can't take that kind of behavior. I can't. Lukaku has done enough for to tarnish what it means to supposedly come to this club as a forward. I have never seen a more. I'm gonna hold my tongue, but I'll just use the word weak. I've never seen a weaker player in my entire existence than Romelu Lukaku. And Mount is trying to push his way onto that list. I'd much rather he not done that. He still has space for redemption. That is if he doesn't leave. But he supposedly come out and talked about, this is not recently, this is before, how much he's dreamt of playing for Chelsea, how much he's dreamt of possibly leading the club, achieving what there is to achieve, becoming an icon. And yet, he's pushing for a move to one of our arch rivals. If you want to leave, leave. Talk is cheap. I really don't care about what any player could possibly say. If you're not trying to actually stick by us when things are going harshly, things are going rough, when the going gets tough, well, that's a nice way to rhyme things. When the going gets tough, if you can't stick by us, run away. I won't care for you either way. But I'm supposed to be unbiased. I'm supposed to give him a chance. If he does get to stay at the club, beyond whatever the hell I prefer would happen to him, we have a manager that knows better. And I would like to think Poch would know how to deal with this situation. Perfectly well, in fact. Now, do I think that he could still make a move? I think he'd probably leave the league and go to Germany. I don't know if United would want to come back in for him. I don't know that if Bayern, table a bid, that United would try to outbid them. I'm not sure they have that kind of financial strength right now. But I am disappointed. On an objective level, though, in a neutral sense, I do believe that selling him would be very good in order to help us balance our books and our wages. Like the list of wages that the players are on at Chelsea does need to be brought down. The ceiling does need to be brought down. Selling him would help us do that. But we have given him an offer, and he refused it. There's only so much you can do for players who don't want to stay at the club. And I don't want anything done for anyone who doesn't want to stay at the club. The best we could do is sell him. Having to deal with multiple storms from the media, from different journalists, from different sources, all sorts of PR nonsense, and just, reach a point where you don't know what to think, it just leaves you believing and realizing that there is much less credibility behind this player and behind his camp, behind those who speak for him. And I'm not really going to say behind the club because they've done what they could. If you want to sign a player, you offer him a deal. They don't take it, it's on them. And if the deal is double your wages, over double your wages on a weekly basis, and you still don't take it, that is on you. It's your responsibility. It's on your back, it's on your neck, and we're not going to have to pay for it. You don't want to stay, the door, you know where it is. Close it on your way out. I am sick to death of a lack of loyalty in this sport, and I will continue being sick to death of it. For better and for worse. If he does choose to leave, again, out with him. I couldn't care less. I'm not even going to say I wish him the best. I mean, either way, I just don't care about what he does anymore. If he does end up somehow, and this is stretched a little, this is far-fetched, if he does somehow end up winning back favor with the club, winning back favor with the fans, renewing his sense of credibility, improving upon his actual performances last season, the season before that, doing much better overall, because on an individual level, both Kaya and Mount were extremely underwhelming throughout their 10 years at the club. They really were. What Tuchel did with the players that he had is a miracle, and people need to understand that. Only we as Chelsea fans know just how much of a miracle it is because we've had to see all these players be as inconsistent as humanly possible. And almost the entirety of that squad from that Champions League winning season is now gone. And it's not even bothering us. I mean, the players, our heroes from 2012, the heroes of Munich, when that squad was starting to thin itself out, we were depressed. Right now, when it comes to our heroes of Porto in 2021, we don't really feel that way. I'm not necessarily sure if it's just the club, if it's something wrong at the club, or if it's just the pace the game is changing in, the mentality that's changed, the players that have changed. I'm sure it's a mixture of all of those things. But to see that have to be the case, best part about it, though, is looking forward to better times. It's looking forward to better things. Looking forward to seeing better setups, better players, a better bedrock, a stronger foundation, something that can actually last. And I think that's what we're getting in exchange. I'm unapologetically going to say it again. I will never, ever back a player who doesn't want to be at the club. If you love the club that you support, you will never want a player that doesn't want to be there, no matter who they are. And you can either stay and earn everyone's respect all over again, or earn it if you haven't been a part of it out of the gate, or you can turn around and leave. And that's all I have to say on that matter. Please let me know what you think about it, about everything I've said in the comment section below, about Mount's proposed move to United falling apart, about him possibly going to Munich, about maybe a third club stepping in and trying to table a bid for him. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's have a healthy conversation about it. Like this video if you're new to the channel, or if you're a recurring viewer and you enjoy what I had to say on the matter. Subscribe to the channel, please, and thank you, because I've realized that a lot, or over 90% of the viewers are not subscribed. So what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe. There's more content on the way. There's better content on the way. And I assure you that hopefully I'll be able to provide more value on what's happening in the world of football as the transfer window goes on and on and on. Thank you once again for tuning in and for watching, and I will see you next time the whistle blows.